In this video, I'm going to share with you the secret pack of sports cards that, in my opinion, is the most profitable. And if you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Eric Michael. I've sold over $5 million in sports cards, and 4 years ago, I started a program teaching people how to make a side income with sports cards. It changed my life, and I'm on a mission to help it change as many people's lives as possible. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so the answer, the best general pack of cards to buy is Prizm. Why? I'm going to break down the math. I have an iPad next to me on why Prizm, in my opinion, is the best pack of cards to buy. But before I get into that, I want to share something with you. So in general, opening up packs and boxes in cases is a losing proposition, okay? It's no different than going to the casino and playing roulette, right? If roulette was a profitable thing to do, casinos would be out of business. If opening up packs and boxes of cases and you're able to pull more cards in value than how much the case cost on an average basis, then Panini and Topps would not be a company. The way Panini and Topps make money is because how much it costs them to produce these cases and boxes and get all these players to sign autographs. How much it costs them to do that is less than what they're selling these boxes and packs for, okay? Now, I'm not saying don't do it, because packs and boxes and cases, this is what drives the hobby, and all the cards that come into existence are opened up from packs and boxes and cases. But something a lot of you guys do is something called breaking, okay? And breaking is basically joining group sessions to open up boxes and cases. And I'm going to explain to you why this is the absolute worst thing to do if you're opening up boxes and cases, and then I'm going to explain to you why Prizm is, in my opinion, the best to buy. All right, let's take this example. So you can see here in the top left, this is an International Hobby Prizm factory sealed basketball box that sells for around $3,100, all right? Now, on my iPad here, I'm going to break down to you why opening up boxes and cases and doing it through breaking is a bad thing, right? So for simplicity's sake, let's say the value of this, just to keep the math even, is $3,000, okay? So this is the value of this Prizm case that you're joining a break, okay? And if you don't know what a break is, basically they take this $3,000 case, instead of selling it to one person for $3,000, they might sell it to 32 different people, okay? And 32 different people have to pay X amount of money, and you get one team each, right? So let's say that's how this is broken down, right? So 32 people, all right? And they run a raffle, and every single person gets a random case or a random box, or a random team, excuse me, okay? So, you know, if you're opening up 2023 Prizm, you might get a crappy team like the Knicks, right? They don't have that great of a rookie. The best team to get would be like the Spurs, right? For Victor Wembanyama, it's random. But let's say all 32 of these people, right? Let's say it costs $130 each to join this break, and you get your random team. Well, 32 times 130, what does that equal? So if we hop over to our handy dandy calculator here, right? We can do 32 times 130. This equals 4160, okay? So 4160. Why is this number important? Because even though you're only one person out of these 32 people paying for this box or for this case, in the long run, if you simulate this scenario a million times, you're actually paying 4160, right? This number we just established, for this box. You're just doing it in a small amount. But over the long run, you're paying 4160 for this box. And if we go back to eBay, right? This box, that the example I'm using here, you just paid $41.60 for a box that's worth $3,100. And also, this box, even if you paid $3,100, it's a losing proposition, okay? If you open this case up a million times and you paid $3,100 for it, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I would be shocked if you recouped more than half your investment, okay? So by breaking open boxes and cases, not only are you playing this just terrible math game where you're overpaying for a box by 20, 30, 40%, but just in general, it's just a bad thing to do. And this is the way breakers make money, right? They'll get the way a breaker makes money is, right? So breaker, and a breaker is a person that supplies these raffles or these, whatever you want to call them, that where people get into, right? So that example I just showed you, right? The value of the box is $3,000, but the breaker's probably going to get a slight discount somehow from like the supplier or something, and they're probably going to pay about $2,400. This could be more, this could be less. And even though, like I just said, it doesn't seem like you're paying more money, when they break the box down, they are getting paid. So they are basically selling this box for $41.60, right? That's how breakers make money. But it's disguised in the form of 32 different spots. And even though, right, 32 spots times $130, you don't care, right? If it's 130, it could be 130, it could be 110, it could be 120, it could be 140, right? To you, it's an extra $10, $20, who cares? But over the long run, it eats at you severely. I can promise you. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with breakers, okay? This is a great way to make money. It's a great way to be entertained. It's a great way to have fun, but just know it's a losing proposition. I help so many people. There are so many people that come into Major League Profits, and the way they get introduced to sports cards is through breaking. They think it's a profitable venture, but just know it's not, okay? And like I said, I have nothing wrong against the people that make money. Everyone makes money in their own way, but I just want you to be very aware that unless you're like 1 out of 500 people and you're the luckiest son of a gun ever, most likely you are going to lose money. And that's why breaking open packs and boxes and cases are bad. It's bad to begin with, and then when you get into breaks, you're actually paying 20, 30, 40% more than the value of the box that you could buy it on eBay. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? Now, I said to you that Prizm, in my opinion, is the best boxer case to buy. Now, if you buy Prizm and you buy a lot of it, you're probably still going to lose money. But the reason why Prizm, in my opinion, is the best to buy is because of the upside of the small cards you get. So a lot of the cards, when you're opening up these boxes and cases, are worth $5, $10, $3, $15, $20, and you get all these cards. And it's like, what do you do with all these cards? Because you get all these things that are worth like $5, $10. But Prizm, for whatever reason, because people love it, you can actually make decent money off these $5, $10 cards. So a lot of the time, you could have, a card worth $10, right? $10 Prizm, if it's a Prizm card of like a random quarterback or a random basketball player. But as a PSA 10, right, this card a lot of the time is worth like $60. And all of a sudden, it's worth it to get these cards graded, which is good because you can actually make decent money off these $10 cards. And I have a rule when it comes to grading cards. You want to at least double your money, right? So like, for example, this is like right here, Eric's rule. Put a little apostrophe right there. Eric's rule. So you want to at least 2x your money. That's my rule. So, right, if you have a bunch of cards just laying around and the cost to grade, so the grading cost is going to be about $20 for one card, give or take. If it's going to be about $20, you want to make sure a PSA 10, after fees and everything, you're going to be able to net at least 40. So you want to make sure this PSA 10 is going to be worth about $50. Then it's going to be worth it for you to send a card in for grading. That's my standard rule of thumb. It's worked out very well for me. It's worked out for a lot of students, and that's what I do. And these Prizm cards that are worth $10, $5, $15, $20, a lot of the time you can get to my rule, and it works out pretty well. But with these other weird cases and boxes, these $5 cards, so like, for example, let me think of an example here, like Topps Inception. This is just a random example, right? Topps Inception. What you'll see a lot of the time is a card that's worth $10. A PSA 10 will be worth like $30, right? And obviously, if it's going to cost you $20 to get the card graded, there is no point in getting this card graded. But with Prizm, there is actually a point. There's actually merit and value to getting the card graded. And just to show you like a basic example here. So like, if you look at the screen here, you can see this card of CJ Stroud. You can look. So you can see right now while I'm speaking, this card is worth about $10 raw, and it's about $64 a PSA 10. This is worth it. This is decent money. And you get a slew of these cards with Prizm, and a lot of the time they're in good condition, which means you can actually get some bang for your buck. Like I said, there's no exact numbers or math behind like how many cards they put in certain cases and value, because the value of a box or case will sway a lot depending on a player. For example, like 2017, those cases and boxes are worth tons of money. Reason being, because Patrick Mahomes' rookie year was 2017. He's obviously a legend. So there's no exact like math behind it, but what I could tell you is that breaking is very bad. Opening up cases and boxes, just buying them yourself, is still bad. It's still a losing proposition. But if I were to do it and I wanted to have fun with my kid, or I wanted to just, relax on the weekend and do it, I would buy Prizm. Because these low value, non-autographed cards, you can actually get graded and make money. So you can actually sometimes come out ahead more than other times from opening up different boxes and cases. And like I said, I'm not saying don't do this, because this is what drives the hobby. All the cards you see behind me and all the cards I bought and all the cards you see on eBay, someone opened it up from a box, someone opened it up from a case. But I'm just saying, don't get addicted. If you're to get addicted to something, get addicted to buying singles, buying them graded and flipping them. Getting addicted to box breaking and opening up cases, that's no different than getting addicted to blackjack or roulette. You're going to lose money in the long run, I can promise you. But if you like this video, hopefully it gave you some value. I'll post another video somewhere around here that I think is a good follow-up to this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you leave a comment, I try to answer all my comments in a podcast I do twice a week. So if you have any questions, or maybe something that didn't make sense, or maybe you disagree with me on something, leave a comment, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.